Hey everybody, Debbie Kuether here. I'm recording something today because it's kind of like a little video response to a variety of messages that I've gotten today. And I'm going to just record a response because there's kind of a lot of layers to my thinking here. I've been asked to, as I am many times by community people and just people that I know, to attend the MPS board meeting tonight because it is a very contentious and widely discussed community topic, which is the budget. And there's also some other things on there, including the discussion around Aisha Carr's resignation, pardon me. And so I have really been struggling about whether or not to go, and I'll tell you why. And I actually chose not to go, and here's my reasons why. First of all, I am always attacked on social media by people that I live in the community with. So recently, I'll give you an example. I was going to maybe post some of these, but I'll just talk about them instead. I was called a white supremacist by many people in the community. I had those individuals then went on to tag other people that they know who then attack me on social media, people I've never met before, people who don't know anything about me. They went on to tell me that I needed to unpack my whiteness and that I was a white supremacist clown, and just a lot of really hurtful names that, this happened a while ago, but it's very challenging to understand why people do that, especially people you don't know. And some of them I do know. So I also had somebody, as a result of this local activist calling me these names, they continued to message me. They told me that the things that I was doing in the district and in the community were like online lynchings. And this is related to because I told the truth. I know there's a lot of people who harbor some anger at me because I didn't allow people to tell lies about me, and I spoke up and I said something back, and then that made me a white supremacist, and that made me the troublemaker because I didn't allow somebody who was in a position of authority, a board member, to lie to me and say things on the local media about me that weren't true. So, I thought about that, and that's one instance, and there's many of those. And I also thought about, and this individual posted something, and this was especially hurtful. They posted something saying, people like me should not be allowed into community spaces because we are interlopers. And I guess she was telling this Milwaukee community that I was not to be allowed in community spaces because I didn't behave the way she wanted me to behave. And I told the truth. And so that makes me a threat, and that makes me dangerous. I don't understand that part. But one thing I will say is that I have lived in Milwaukee my entire life, 53 years. I was born here at St. Joe's, and I was raised here. And not only that, but my parents were born and raised here. And they graduated from Milwaukee Public Schools. They graduated from what was at the time called Custer, and now is called Obama. And we still have many people in our family living in Milwaukee, and we live on the north side too. So I'm just saying, those of you who are local, I have a right to be in Milwaukee, and I have a right to talk about Milwaukee issues. And so I'm getting tired of people telling me that I guess it's because of the color of my skin that I'm not supposed to say anything. I'm not supposed to participate in the community. I'm an interloper. And I also think about all the times that it's dangerous for me to go into these spaces now because I can't even rely on security or the police to do anything. It's always turned around to be my fault. Even when I'm in the injured party and there is video of me doing nothing but getting attacked and then saying, hey, I was attacked, and then it's still my fault. It's like you can't win. I point to 2 instances with this. One being when I went into the building to hand paperwork for a colleague's hearing to an individual, Dr. Holliday, and that individual attacked me and assaulted me and was ticketed. After the police viewed the video footage, they ticketed Dr. Holliday. But what's most disturbing is that MPS actually tried to have me be ticketed. And there was absolutely no evidence to support any of that. And I have all of that paperwork and I have all of those documents. And their security guards and their chief of HR called the police on me. I was the victim. That case is going to trial on June 18th after being delayed 3 times. I also think about when we were at a board meeting recently, and some people laughed about this, which I find to be also disturbing, but it just goes to show you that you can't win. You cannot win. Even when, so I'm speaking about the board meeting where a gentleman got pushed to the floor, and it's on video of him getting pushed to the floor, and not one person, actually a child from like 3 rows over I shouldn't say a child, he was a young man. He jumped over the auditorium chairs and came to assist the man who had been pushed over by security guards and by other attendees that were at the board meeting. Now, mind you, there was another person using strong language, swear words, when they were addressing the board. They were swatting off security guards and saying, "Don't touch me." That person got to just walk off on their own accord, whereas another individual who was watching that speaker and just clapping was kind of ping-ponged between 2 security, one is a security guard and one was another person. But I mean, unfortunately, there was about 750 pounds of people pushing on this individual. And the individual just went kind of flying because they were getting pushed with both arms and shoulders and body parts. And even when, so if that person would have pushed back or said something back, MPS would have ticketed that person. So even when that person didn't do anything back and they fell on the floor, nobody even asked if that person was okay on that staff. And in those police, there were 2 police officers there. They didn't even bend down and say, are you okay? Do you need help with anything? They just let him lay there. And as a matter of fact, one security guard stepped over him. And that security guard stepped over the body, even though there were 10, 12 other security guards right dealing with the matter. He had the urgency to step over the body so that he could get into the mix of whatever was happening over there with the other 8 to 10 security guards. I don't understand it. And then, people in the background, the very same people in the community who are calling us, me names, are saying, oh, you did that on purpose. The video footage doesn't support that at all. And so, I think about that, and I think about I'm not going to be able to go to a meeting because I'm not safe in those spaces. Even when I do have no reaction at all, even when I have things on video, even when they have video, even when there are witnesses all around who can attest to what has happened, I'm still not safe. And so I'm not going to go to the board meeting, and I'm probably not going to go to a meeting for some time, or I'll never go to a board meeting unless I have full body cam and additional people with me that can serve as witnesses and or just people to help navigate the discussions with the staff that's there, because they do not have the appropriate training to work with the public. They do not have the skill set to keep a safe environment. We also know from our work with open records that they often alter things after the fact. So it's a very dangerous place to be in. And not only has that district taken, my ability to work away from me, and they've defamed me, but they've also supported an environment where I'm not allowed to go into spaces. And not only am I not safe in those spaces, but I am not to speak or to be present in those spaces. So if people ask the question of me, I think that's kind of a very long explanation, but it is something that I wanted to say. I've been keeping track of the social media posts and the things that people say to me. I do not respond back oftentimes. I just wind up removing that contact. But I also want to say that I have never treated anybody this way. Even the people that have attacked me, I have tried to stay on point with the facts of the matter. And I don't want to participate in anything where I'm calling somebody that I don't know a name, or I'm using strong language like you are a racist. Those are things that should not be said lightly. And I really do feel like the environment in Milwaukee is, if you don't like somebody, you can call them any kind of name, and that's okay. And I've seen Milwaukee Public Schools support that. I've seen them supported in multiple court cases, not just my own, and not just for employees, but also for students and families. So it's very concerning. I wanted to make this little video, and I will not be at a board meeting tonight. And I may have to think very carefully about going to them in the future because of safety issues. Thank you for listening.